Hi guys, my name is Lara. Welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be drawing some more D&D stories from Twitter. I am so excited, and I also have a little bit of a confession to make. It's been over 3 months since I last made this kind of video, and I'm sorry about that. Here's the last video if you want to check it out. Here. Yeah, the last video was really fun. It was about a monk, and today we're going to be doing another D&D story, and this story was submitted by Found Familiar D&D Inspired Coffee. They are a really great D&D inspired coffee company, and they make coffee and stuff, and I actually bought some. This is not sponsored, but I bought some, and I thought because their story is the inspiration for today's art, I would buy some of their coffee and drink it while making this video. So got this. It has really nice art on it, and it's really nice. So I really like it. And actually I've already tried the coffee and it's really good. The coffee is actually really good, you guys. You should go get some. So enough of that, we're going to actually read the story that they submitted. So Found Familiar replied to my tweet, and also if you want a story, a D&D story that you are a part of, drawn by me, you can tweet me on my Twitter, which will be in the links below. So they submitted this tweet, which says, our tiefling rogue, Zamara, played hot cross buns on a crisp piano made entirely out of bone. She failed her performance check and the Constitution saving throw. Necromantic energy decayed her hands until her flesh slogged off. She now has skelly hands. And they also said that now this tiefling wears gloves and she takes them off to gain advantage on intimidation checks, which is really cool. So I'm excited about this one. This is probably going to be a little shorter. And guys, I have a dilemma because you guys might not know it from my last video, but I'm not actually a comic book artist. I'm a storyboard artist, and I actually don't know really anything about comic books. So my dilemma here is, should I make it a comic, a comic page, or should I make it a storyboard? And this kind of sequence is more like a montage. I was thinking like we would see her like playing the piano, and then like she would get like oh no, there's a curse, and then she'd be playing it, and then like her hands turn to skeleton hands, and then like she would take off her glove and be like, oh, I have intimidation advantage now. So that sounded like I don't play D&D, but I swear that I do. Yeah, I'm just trying to decide which one I'm going to do. Watch me while I think. I think I'm gonna do a storyboard for this. I think I'm gonna make an animatic, and it probably will be like really short, like 20-30 seconds long. I'm going, I don't know. I'm conflicted. Okay, let's just make the thumbnails and then I'll decide, because I need to make the thumbnails first anyway. So let's go ahead and make the thumbnails. So I'm gonna start my screen cap so that you can see what I'm drawing, and we'll get started. So we are recording my screen now, and on the other monitor I have hand reference photos and creepy piano reference photos. I don't know what that is, but it's there in case I need it, and I am going to need some reference photos today. So the first thing that we need to decide is what the character looks like. Again, with these videos I try not to spend too much time on the character design because it's more about the story and stuff, but you do need a character design to really get anything going. So let's start drawing the tiefling. Actually, the company has a picture. Found Familiar, their Twitter page actually has a picture of her in their banner, so that is a really cool picture, but it doesn't give a lot of information for like what her clothes look like and stuff. So I'm just gonna wing it and see. It's just gonna be an interpretation. So this is a tiefling rogue. This isn't a spellcaster, so we should keep that in mind while we're drawing this person. So they look like they have like a cool like cape on, so I'm gonna add that. I also don't know what kind of weapons she uses. I'm just gonna add like a dagger because that's a good go-to for a rogue. Not the stereotype, like some cool sleeves, like cool like billowy sleeves maybe. Yeah, I think I like that for now. I mean, nothing too detailed. Yeah, I think I actually like that quite a bit. So, and the horns. I know in this picture the horns kind of go like that, but that's hard. That's a little hard for me to draw, but it does look cool. Horns are always confusing for me, like tiefling horns, because I want to make sure that like they're consistent in like the direction and stuff, but I always get confused about where exactly they're supposed to go. There. I think that's good for the character design so far. So now we have to do the thumbnails. So I'm gonna read the tweets and just kind of like internalize them, because I want to make sure this actually makes sense, because we need to show that the piano cursed her, and now it cursed her hands, and her hands transformed, and now but she didn't die. That's important to note. So I'm just trying to figure out how to like express that visually. So let's start doing the thumbnails. So for thumbnails, I always just make like several squares and stuff and just make boxes, and then I just fill them with whatever I'm inspired by. whether it's a script or a story or a tweet. And this isn't even the planning stage at this point. It's what visually am I thinking, like just like putting whatever I think down onto the page and just trying to, you know, get my thoughts across, because right now I don't have anything, so I'm trying to actually have something to work off of. And I still don't know if this is going to be storyboard or a comic, so that's also something interesting that we're going to have to figure out. So let's go back and read the tweet. Let's go back and read the tweet. So I feel like we should have like an establishing shot of where she is and maybe of the piano at the same time. So let me go over to my creepy piano reference photos. I really like this one. I'll show it on screen if I remember, but it's like really cool. It's like in a creepy like forest thing. This piano that we're gonna be drawing is made out of bones entirely, so we should keep that in mind. We'll say this is the piano for now. I want to make sure that it looks like a piano. I have no idea where they were when this happened, but I'm feeling like a foresty vibe, like a creepy forest. Is that weird? That's I think what I'm gonna go with, because I like creepy forests and I try to add them in my D&D stuff as much as possible. My players have been stuck in a dark forest for like 3 months, and they finally got out of it, but I enjoyed myself. Do you guys ever get in your D&D games, do you ever get like stuck in one location on accident, or you accidentally have your players be in one location much longer than you intended and then you feel bad? I think that happens to me, and like I'm trying to like get them out of a certain location, but then they keep on doing other things, and I'm like, but you don't like this location, like I'm trying to help you. I don't know if anyone else relates to that, but like that has happened to me before. I don't know, maybe this is like a junkyard, like maybe they stumbled across a junkyard or something. I think that would maybe be cool. I'm gonna say she's like standing, like she's like walking towards the piano. Like maybe I need to have junkyard reference photos. Well, junkyard in woods. Nope, that's not a junkyard. Pinterest is not always the most helpful. I want to find something to like stuff to put around the piano, so it's not just like one piano in the woods, you know what I mean? And also I have no idea who her party members are, so I'm probably just not gonna have them in there, because I feel like this is like a flashback of what happened, and then we're gonna see her like take her glove off and she's like, I'm creepy, respect me. That's how I'm thinking about it right now. That's gonna be number 1. So second frame, I think actually I am gonna have this be like an animatic, because I'm a storyboard artist and I don't want to offend all the comic book artists, and also I just like storyboards. So I think we should have a close-up on the piano so we can see that's made out of made out of bones, and then we'll have like a reaction shot, and then we'll go from there. So we see this creepy piano made out of bones in the woods. It's probably not anywhere near where they were, but you know. I kind of like this submission though, because they just told me the information I needed. It's hard with stories where there's too much information, because then it takes a lot longer to draw everything and it's harder to express all the information. So I do like that they're like, cursed piano, hands got turned into skeletons, and I'm like, great, now I have something to work with. Longer stories are cool too, but like I've tried to make videos of my own D&D stories, and a lot of them are just really long, so they take a long time to make. So I definitely like shorter ones as well. So this piano is made out of bones, so we're gonna have to figure out how to like interpret that exactly. I think I'm not gonna be able to deal with that until we get into the actual details, because these are just thumbnails right now, so it's hard to like draw little tiny bones in them. So I think we're gonna deal with that once we actually start illustrating everything. I don't know, I really like the idea of it being in a junkyard. I think that's like really cool. And obviously it's probably not what happened, but you know, creative interpretation. It's too bad I'm not making this like around Halloween. That would be very topical, but like most things, I put them off until I forget, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I was gonna make that, and then so that's my creative process. How about all you guys? I'm actually liking this, and like I usually don't like, it's just I haven't had the best creative day today, so I'm surprised that I actually like something that I'm making, so I'm excited about it. So now we're going to have a reaction shot of Zamora. That's her name. That's the tiefling's name. Should it be a reaction shot, or should we like show like her as well? Like I feel like we should like have an establishing shot of her as well, so we know like she's the person and she's in the woods as well, because we want to know what's actually happening. It's really important to make sure that you have like a shot of all the main subjects in a scene. Obviously there are lots of styles and stuff, but if it's like you have no context and you're starting from nothing, it's really important to make sure you know what all the subjects are in each scene, which people are in it, like what characters, and to make sure that everyone knows like how many characters are in the scene, like who is important and stuff like that. So that's something I'm really trying to work on. You know, this would be super dope if I could find like a creepy like hot crust buns like track and like put it over the storyboard. That would be awesome, because I'm gonna make an animatic out of it and I need music. So I mean, hot cross buns is not the scariest sounding music ever, but I feel like someone could really make that really creepy. Yeah, so we have a reaction shot of her seeing the piano for the first time, because that's important. Like in my mind, in the storyboard, like the piano is kind of like calling to her and like charming her, so she like has to go play it. And these thumbnails are gonna look pretty bad until I actually like make them all look pretty and stuff, a little prettier. These are, you know, thumbnails are supposed to look bad, and actually you're not really supposed to show anyone them except for yourself, because you know they're supposed to just be for you so you can get, you know, stuff on the page. But I like sharing the process of thumbnailing because I think it's where you actually see the first person directing the story, and I love seeing that. I love seeing the creation of a story and like seeing how someone decides like what shots and like the direction and like the emotional weight, like what is gonna happen. I just love seeing that. So it is a little rough, so you have to bear with me. I'm realizing how not similar this is going to be to the actual story, and that's okay. I just like, that's the whole point, but I'm realizing that's fine. Like, I'm never going to get exactly how it played out in their game, but that is a disclaimer. Like, this is super probably not what happened, but it is like, it did really inspire me visually. As an artist, like, you're always like, should I push myself, or like, when is it too far whenever I actually need to finish something? Because, you know, I'm going to have a hand shot. That's a very technical term that we use here at the storyboarding industries. I don't know what I'm talking about. Also, this is going to be a challenge for me because hands are not my thing. Like, I have a very hard time drawing them, so you guys are going to have to be patient with me because they're really hard to draw. Yeah, that's fine for now. We'll change it later if we need to. So she's basically walking towards the piano, and we're doing it like behind her shoulder. The camera's behind her shoulder as we walk towards it. Yeah, this is good. I'm liking this. I'm liking this a lot. Oh, guys, I'm actually liking it. Yay. Okay. I was really worried about this video because I was afraid, you know, I'm going to have to draw hands. It was going to be a storyboard potentially, and like, there's so many details, but, you know, I think it's actually coming together. I feel like she should be closer, maybe. I know this doesn't look like a piano right now, but I promise it will. I promise. So now we want a shot of her actually starting to play the piano. So we want a shot of her hands. So this is the next question. Does she sit down to play the piano, or does she stay standing? I feel like it's a little bit more like work and like a few more frames to show her sitting down, but I feel like it is important because you want to see like that shot of her like playing the piano, like sitting down. I feel like that's really cool. So I think I am going to add that part into it. Perspective. I have to do perspective with this. I'm not good with perspective. So Not gonna lie, I'm actually really liking how this video is turning out, like the video itself. And you know, I haven't done a lot of fantasy storyboarding before, and fantasy is one of my favorite genres. Like doing D&D, like comics and storyboards, it allows me to have that time where I just get to draw fantasy stuff, and it's really fun. So we're going to have her hand come down. This is where we need reference photos because hands are hard, you guys. But we're gonna get through it, okay? I picked this story. I knew it involved hands. I knew it would involve drawing hands. So I did this to myself. Her wrist is coming down. And you know, it's always good to try to simplify like complicated shapes into boxes wherever possible. I know this looks rough. I'm gonna work it out. I'm gonna fix all this. You have to let the ugly thumbnails be ugly thumbnails, and then afterwards you fix everything, because otherwise I would never get anything done. I'd just be like, oh, these are horrible, I would never draw again. But then I'm like, no, I just need to clean them up and then they will look good. So hi guys, it's another day, but I'm still working on the same project. So we are in the middle of her hands kind of transforming. I got a new cup of coffee today, same brand, and we're just gonna keep on doing this. We're gonna keep on working on it. I was actually noticing as I was doing some of the concept art for this piece that it was actually easier to draw the hands once they were like skeleton hands, because all the forms were easier to understand, you know, and like figure out. So for this part, I'm drawing her looking down at her hands, and for that I'm going to use my own hands as reference because it's actually really easy. Just have to hold it like this and kind of go from reference. Hands are definitely not my forte when it comes to drawing. They're very, very difficult to draw. That's part of the reason that I kind of chose this story, because I thought it would be a good way to kind of challenge myself and, you know, kind of explore that whole thing, because, you know, hands are very, very complicated. There's a lot of little details, and, you know, it's very easy to get wrong. So it's something that as artists you really have to practice over and over again to get good at it. And, you know, I'm trying to prioritize that more and more, because, you know, the more you do something, the better you'll be at it. Now that we've kind of got this whole situation, we've kind of plotted out how her hands turned out, I wanted to show like this character using her ability to intimidate people. Like, I feel like she was like telling the story of how her hands got like this, and then she kind of takes off her glove and she's like, do you want to mess with me? But like, I can't think of any good one-liners, so I'm having a little bit of trouble with that part. I also have a headache, so if I sound a little slow today, that's why. Really bad headache, but I'm pushing through anyway. I want it to kind of be like a reveal of like what happened. Oh, I'm feeling stuck now. Yeah, why am I feeling stuck? I was feeling so good about this yesterday, but now I'm like, I don't know. I'm like second guessing everything.
Keyleth and Vax all there resting.
I just thought of like a really lame like hot cross buns like fun like, oh, don't cross me. That is so lame. I'm not gonna put that in the storyboard, don't worry. Okay, so I'm back and I had time to think about this and I realized I want the ending and the beginning to be, you know, have some connection to each other because, you know, the middle part is her going through this process and playing the piano and her hands turning, and then at the end I was gonna have a part where she's like intimidating someone with her hands so that we can get that part of the story because that's really important. I feel like I decided, and these are the frames that I landed on, I decided that basically she's in a tavern and like some ruffians are coming in and like causing problems and they're like, oh, we're gonna fight you, and then she like turns around and she's like really creepy and cool and stuff, and then we get this flashback where she's playing the piano for the first time and her hands are turning, and then at the end we see her like turning around and like taking her gloves off and being like, do you want me to play you a song? One-liners are hard for me, so that's the one-liner we're gonna stick to right now, and then like all the ruffians are gonna be like scared and run away because she's so cool. So that's what I'm landing on right now. Hopefully that will make sense and work. I basically have almost everything finished then. I just need to flesh out these thumbnails right now on screen, and then I'm going to start with the actual sketching phase. So yeah, really excited about that. So the dialogue, I'm working on the dialogue, okay? This is what we're going with right now. I might change it later, but I just want it to be, you know, I want everyone to, like, I want to know what's happening in the scene, and I want to give a little context. So I feel like this is good right now. I'm happy with the one-liner, two-liner thing, and yeah, if I need to change it later, I will, but I'm gonna go with this for now. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with these for right now, and now I'm on to the sketching phase. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna take all these thumbnails and blow them up so that they fit within the canvas size, and then I'm gonna be filling out all the details. I really can't talk today. I'm having such a hard time recording. I'm gonna fill out all the details, try to make everything look nice and like actually seeable, and then I'm gonna edit it all together and hopefully it will look good. With music, I'm going to be trying to add some music in there too, so stick around for the end of that. So for right now, I'm going to turn off the camera and just work on the sketches. So I'll be back in a little bit. Okay guys, new day, but I finally finished all the frames for the animatic. I have gone through and sketched every single one of them. I've added the characters, the faces, the poses, expressions, and different character poses and stuff like that. And I just really fleshed everything out. So I finished the animatic and I edited it all together, and I actually wrote some music with my sister to go under it, and it's really cool and scary, so I really like it. So yeah, here is the finished animatic. Okay guys, that was Animatic, and honestly this was such a fun project to work on. I'm so happy how it turned out. Obviously no drawing that I draw is ever going to be perfect, I know that, but this was really cool to work on, and thank you again, Found Familiar, for submitting your story. That was so cool of you. And if you want your story to be turned into an animatic or a storyboard, please comment down below because I actually need more submissions. So if you have stories, comment down below and I will definitely look at them. Just thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be surprised if anyone makes it to the end of this video because it is literally the longest video I have ever made. So if you did make it to the end of the video, if you made it to the very end of this video, comment cinnamon rolls because I'll know that you're the real fans. And none of the other fans are here, so they don't know that I'm saying this, so it's fine. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to be making another video like this in February, and I also have some cool D&D content coming out. I'm going to have a fan animatic of the Adventure Zone coming out this month, I believe. So yeah, if you're interested in that, stick around, and yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye. Bye.